The old church stood tall, a solemn silhouette against the twilight sky. The Thompson family, new to the small town, had transformed the deconsecrated church into their home. High ceilings and echoing chambers, once filled with hymns and sermons, now echoed with the sounds of laughter and daily life. Sunlight, filtering through the colorful mosaic of the rose window, painted the wooden floor in a kaleidoscope of hues. Yet as the sun began its descent, casting long, eerie shadows across the nave, a palpable chill settled over the house. Late one night, Sarah and John Thompson were jarred awake by the sound of their daughter Lily talking softly. Her sweet, innocent voice, usually a source of joy, sent a chill down their spines. The hushed murmurs, punctuated by giggles, seemed to emanate from the depths of her walk-in closet.
A knot of worry tightened in Sarah's chest. She shared a concerned look with John, his brow furrowed with a similar unease.
With cautious steps, they crept towards Lily's room, their bare feet padding silently against the cold stone floor. Lily's voice, filled with an unnerving gaiety, sent chills down their spines. Peeking into Lily's room, their hearts pounded in unison, a mix of fear and curiosity gripping them. Lily, bathed in the soft glow of her nightlight, sat perched on the edge of her bed, her eyes wide with an innocent yet eerie calmness.
"Who are you talking to, sweetie?" Sarah asked, her voice trembling slightly, a hint of dread creeping into her tone.
"I was talking to my friend," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper, as if sharing a secret with the darkness.
"What friend, Lily?" John asked, his voice a study in controlled concern, trying to mask the unease that was building inside him.
Lily pointed towards the closet, its old wooden door slightly ajar, creaking softly as if it had a life of its own, casting elongated, dancing shadows on the wall, creating an unsettling atmosphere in the dimly lit room. "The little girl in my closet," she whispered, a mischievous grin spreading across her face, her eyes twinkling with a strange delight. "She says she wants to play," Lily added, her voice filled with an eerie excitement that sent chills down her parents' spines.
John, his heart pounding against his ribs, slowly approached the closet door. The old hinges groaned as he pushed it open, the sound seeming amplified in the stillness of the night. Dust motes danced in the single ray of light that pierced the darkness, illuminating the jumble of clothes and toys within, but there was no little girl.
"See, Mommy, Daddy, she's gone now. She always goes away when you come in."
Lily's words hung heavy in the air, each syllable a hammer blow to their already frayed nerves.
"She's my friend. She lives in the closet."
As the days turned into weeks, the strange occurrences in the old church continued, growing more frequent and unsettling with each passing day. Footsteps echoed in the dead of night, their rhythm too heavy, too deliberate to be the settling of an old building. It was as if someone or something was pacing the halls. Whispers seemed to emanate from the empty rooms, hushed conversations that ceased abruptly whenever John or Sarah drew near. The voices were indistinct, yet filled with an eerie urgency. The scent of lavender, Lily's favorite soap, wafted through the halls at odd hours, lingering long after Lily was fast asleep. It was as if her presence was being mimicked by an unseen force. John and Sarah, their initial amusement replaced by a growing sense of dread, tried to rationalize the events. They searched for logical explanations but found none. But deep down, a seed of doubt had been planted. A chilling suspicion that something was amiss in their home. The feeling of being watched, of not being alone, was becoming impossible to ignore. One evening, as John sat reading in the living room, the old church's former nave, he felt a cold hand on his shoulder. The chill was so intense that it seemed to seep into his bones, making him shiver involuntarily. He spun around, his heart leaping into his throat, only to find Lily standing there, her eyes wide with a mixture of fear and excitement. Her small frame seemed to tremble as she clutched her favorite doll tightly.
"Daddy, she wants to talk to you." Her voice was barely a whisper, yet it echoed loudly in the silent room.
John's blood ran cold. He could feel the hairs on the back of his neck stand up, a primal fear gripping him. He glanced towards the hallway leading to Lily's room, the shadows seeming to deepen, to writhe as if alive. The flickering lights cast eerie shapes on the walls, making the corridor look like a scene from a nightmare. He felt a cold draft, like an unseen entity exhaling across his neck. The air seemed to grow colder with each passing second. The family packed their belongings that night. Their movements hurried, their whispers tinged with fear. Every creak of the floorboard seemed amplified, every shadow a potential threat. As they drove away, the old church loomed in their rearview mirror, a menacing silhouette against the dawning sky. The once comforting structure now felt like a dark omen, a place they could never return to.